Hey y'all. So, I'm conducting my book talk on the novel The Light Fantastic by Sarah Combs. It's a cool little novel comprised of 7 separate narratives, all from the points of view of various teens who have been marginalized by their individual situations and have kind of been pushed to the edge, finding a place for friendship and commiseration in an online chat room that gets dark very quickly as one team, named the Mastermind, begins to organize a plan of revenge. It grapples with themes of suicide, self-esteem, and pain, so the content itself is fairly dark, and I would recommend it for students that are older and more mature readers, even though it has a Lexile score of 910L, which places it within a ninth grade reading level. I'm about halfway through with this book, and haven't gotten around to seeing the climactic, redemptive part hinted at by the summary from the Carnegie Library website. But I have found that the characters Combs creates are incredibly nuanced and realistic, though the situation she sets them up in may not be. Phoebe, otherwise known as Idaho in the novel, suffers because of her complicated relationship to her parents, but is also hopeful. Wide blue skies, cups of coffee with just a little bit of cream, midnight movies, songs threaded through with heartache. These things might be small, Phoebe thinks, but they are things worth living for. They are things people, even the worst of them, deserve. Combs creates this level of nuance with great attention to detail and narrative voice, as well as a refusal to shy away from what is often hard to address. I found that while the prose of the novel itself was not difficult per se, the ideas teens grapple with and the way they are presented are highly complex and compelling. For instance, there is an entire chapter that is set up as the dialogue occurring in the teens' chat room in live time that devolves into several pages of repeating a single phrase occurring in varying sizes on the page, then shortening and shortening to nothing. This heightens the emotional effect of the phrase itself in a way that I've maybe seen in internet memes, but not ever before in literature. Likewise, the addition of explicit and hilarious hashtags in the chapter titled Gavin in His Realm are unconventional yet highly relatable to a generation of students that is always connected or plugged in. Additionally, the setup of the novel as consisting of 7 different narratives and thus 7 different stories, characters, and narrative voices gives the reader an opportunity to think in a variety of different ways. Gavin is hysterical, colloquial. Phoebe doubtful, shy, and hopeful. Sandra is a teacher and not a teen, not a student. The mastermind himself remains an anonymous devil's advocate. It gives the reader room to identify with a particular character or analyze parallels between the stories, which Combs definitely weaves throughout the chapters. There's also an interesting exploration of the concept of circumstance and causality. Why are these teens hurting as they are? What has happened to them where they feel enough pain to compel them to these desperate measures? It's dark, but at the same time very lovely, heartfelt, and provocative. The Light Fantastic doesn't tell you how to think, but asks you what you think and how you feel. I'll definitely read this one to the end. Anyway, thanks for watching.